Peace and welcome to our top 10 Tenchu songs from Stealth Assassins. This is one of the most unique musical experiences you will have in a single video game, so we decided it's time for a top 10.
In this soundtrack, you will hear acoustic guitars, electric guitars, horns, flutes, and many other instruments.
But it's not about the instruments used. Lots of songs have guitars, horns, and flutes, but it's about the execution of it all.
The way they are all mixed together with the melodies used is perfect for Tenchu.
I have never heard a soundtrack that fit a game as good as this. Composed and arranged by Noriyuki Asakura, released in 1998,
we present to you our favorite top 10 tracks from Tenchu Stealth Assassins.
Our number 10 spot comes from the stage, Destroy the Foreign Pirate. The first one today starts off with somewhat of a dark vibe. This sets the mood perfectly for a night stage. The sounds used are quite unique. It almost sounds like a water effect that's laid over the bass and synth sounds. Then the track really gets underway with an explosion of the melody. And what I believe is a sitar, and please correct me if I'm wrong, this instrument is centuries old, and it originates from the Indian subcontinent. Mix this in with a gong or two, and some other various percussions, and you have the beginning of an epic top 10.
Number 9 is Cross the Checkpoint. This one kicks off with a bass line, some synth, and acoustic guitar. A simple yet effective start. Then slowly the acoustic guitar picks up a little bit, and then the flute kicks in. All of this keeps building and building. Eventually a piano joins, a second flute, and if that wasn't enough, it kicks in with an epic horn. This is the type of horn that battles are won to. This one barely beats out the previous track because the horn just took it over the top.
In at number 8, we have Execute the Corrupt Minister. A track that starts off smoothly and then pretty much stays just as smooth during almost the entire duration. An acoustic guitar kicks in, and at times almost has a Latin dance feel to it. Near the end of the track, a flute kicks in and the beat seems to take on a more serious of a tone. It gets more chaotic, like danger is approaching or you may be nearing a boss. Then the track comes to an abrupt halt. It just stops.
Number 7 is Crisis, the boss theme. Our first really hyped track. This comes on when it's time to get down to business. Violins have a strong feel, as well as the gongs and the entire mood. Once the track really starts to get going, you are left with a solid piece of music that lets you know it's time. I do believe another sitar kicks in, and by this point, you know you are in for a fight, and that only one person will be walking away from it, whether it's you or your opponent.
Number 6. Infiltrate the Manji Cult. In one of the most unique tracks in the entire game, you get this. Possibly another sitar, mixed in with some percussions and some violins to not only make it one of the most unique, but also one of the most memorable video game tracks I have ever heard. In my opinion, when the piano kicks in, that's what tops it off. The notes, the style, and just everything combined make this one of my favorite Tenchu tracks, and it's only number 6.
Number 5 is the training stage. This is the first stage I think most people played, unless you skip the training mode, but I know I didn't, and I'm glad I didn't. I would have missed out on this track. Once it gets going, the acoustic guitar mixed with the feel of the entire track made it an instant favorite of mine. It does have parts that resemble the song on the opening FMV, but there are no vocals as they were replaced with the acoustic guitar. The unique feel of this track put it high on our list. All the instruments used and the aura they create make it perfect for one of the first tracks heard.
Unlucky number 4 is Punish the Evil Merchant. From stage 1, this is the first track we hear while playing story mode. The tone of the track sets the mood perfectly. It has an evil feel to it at times, with the horns giving off almost a wartime anthem vibe. Hear some vocals mixed in, but it's minimal, so you don't have to speak the language to understand what the track wants to portray. In my opinion, this is the most memorable track in the game. Maybe it's from playing the first stage so many times, but this is one that will get stuck in my head.
Number 3 is the opening theme, Adua. This song plays during the opening FMV, an FMV that is so good I've watched probably 1,000 times, and with this song playing, I have heard it just as much. Considering this is the first song heard in the game, it kind of lets you know what you should be prepared for. One of the single most unique video game soundtracks ever produced. If you've never played a Tenchu game before, I recommend starting with Stealth Assassins, and not even touching a button until after this entire FMV plays.
Number 2 is Cure the Princess. The build-up on this track is perfect. There is a slower tempo yet a strong feel that comes from the intro, almost like the calm before the storm. And the acoustic guitar mixed with all of the instruments blends seamlessly. It's a very smooth track to listen to. Once this song gets going, the piano mixed with the vocals give off a bit of an eerie feeling, but at the same time a positive feeling. I almost get a sense of a calm determination. This is not the typical track one usually hears in a video game, and the entire Tenchu soundtrack is just like that. But this one stands out enough to put it high on our list.
And our number one track comes from the ending. A simple beginning leads to one of the most epic tracks in the entire Tenchu series. This track pretty much sums up the entire soundtrack. You have the smooth nature with an epic build-up to start out, and then it explodes. A great track for the ending. It's victorious, but it has a hint of a somber mood. I won't get into any spoilers of the game, but when this plays at the very end, it's fitting. We don't know the future of our characters, but we know our journey was successful and has now come to an end. And those are our favorite Tenchu songs from Stealth Assassins. If you think we miss any tracks, let us know in the comments.
This soundtrack is a little difficult to get nowadays, and if you can manage to get it for under $60 or $70, then it is a good deal. I have seen a used copy sell for as much as $120. I myself paid about $50.
And also, let us know what other soundtracks we should do a top 10 of.
Anyways, I'm ICC.
It's your boy Kraytos.
Thanks for watching. Peace.